What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Prospect Park and we are battling against the Pyro today. I found a disc that is kind of the old school, what all the Innova pros used to throw in this slot. And I've thrown one before, but I actually used to prefer the slightly not as sharp version, the MD5. We are looking at the Champion Metal Flake Gator versus the Proton Pyro. Let's see who wins. Now, I can already hear some comments saying, I thought you said no beats. I know this has a beat, but it does have a couple of things going for it that a lot of the other overstable mid-ranges just don't have. This disc is actually board flat. Unlike most of the Justices I tried, unlike the Swarms, unlike some of the Buzz OS's, other discs like that, the Gator. And again, you have to find the right Gator. This one happened to be the right color and perfectly board flat sitting on the shelf staring at me. So I said, you know what? We're going to do it. The other thing it has going for it is, while it does have a bead, it has this very blunt, but it's sharper, it's wider diameter than a lot of the other overstable mid-ranges. Something that I have often noticed and pointed out with the Pyro, these might actually have, the Pyro might still be a little bit sharper, but these might actually have a much more similar depth of rim than you get from a lot of the other stable mid-ranges. So, that being said, we're on hole number 1 here. We're gonna go Pyro first and then Gator. We can throw in a lot of forehands, but the wind is gonna make us throw some backhands today as well too. That is worked. Felt like it slipped a little bit on my hand, but it could just be windy and I haven't warmed up yet. Okay, so maybe I'm just rolling my wrist and the Pyro is better at the wrist roll. Hence, well, so point 1, I'm actually going to give it, yes, we're giving it to the Pyro, obviously. But I think the reason I did that was the bead. Let's go throw some different shots. Try to get a forehand to come off clean without rolling. And let's see stability-wise where it matches up. But first throw goes to Pyro because I think in the cold and the wind, this super pronounced noticeable bead on the Gator stuck to my finger. So Pyro with 1. Onto, we're probably jumping straight to hole 4 because hole 4 is a similar distance, but because bead versus no bead, I know that forehands, the bead's going to stick a little bit more than I'm expecting it to, but on a backhand, beaded discs tend to be more reliable for me, which is why I bag a method and the Pyro. This hole, similar distance, uphill, Pyro with the box and the point. Oh, I do want to point out different ideas of stability. We keep coming back to this as we're looking at the overstable discs. This is overstable because it is very, very, very blunt. The parting line, you can't really tell where the parting line is because it's basically just straight up and down here. So the parting line may or may not be the same as the Pyro, but I know for one thing, the Pyro is going to achieve a similar amount of overstability while pushing a little bit further and smoother and easier because it's not as blunt, so it's designed to kind of slice a little bit more. This one's going to be overstable because it just slows down so fast. Pyro with the box, backhand, probably a little bit of a flex line here. off the tree. Okay. So, can we stable out before the tree with the Gator? I don't think I came through with as much anhyzer on that throw. So, her reliability being what it is. But on that throw, the Gator was definitely more overstable. But then we also get into the difference between stability and glide. Because the Pyro is given the flight numbers of 5, 4 glide, versus the Gator with its 2 glide, because it's so blunt and flat. So it's not designed to go as far, as smoothly, or as easily, but it is designed to do the same thing regardless of the wind. Hence why it's inside C1 and the Pyro hit a tree, so they flip-flop the points. Hole 5 is much shorter, but we are going to go back to the forehand, and here the Gator's leading off. So anything that I got from muscle memory of throwing the Pyro first, I'm not going to get that. So what can I do with the Gator when it's the first thing in my hand? Okay. Very true to the line I threw it on when I'm not trying to overpower. A little bit more true to the line I was trying to throw it on, but it is also, again, beaded versus no beaded. You see the Pyro finished more on the right, the Gator finished more on the left. I grip lock bees on a forehand. Boom, prime example. But regardless of that fact, the Pyro followed the fairway more true to where I was trying to throw it. And the Gator, while it is overstable, it still got to the trees before it faded. And I think it took a nastier kick. Pyro's up here. I think the Gator's down on the hill. So Pyro with 2 points, Gator still with just 1. This isn't too bad of a mar on the Gator though. And yes, I know. We're throwing a lot of forehands this video, but I throw the Pyro almost exclusively on a forehand. So this is the slot I use the forehand for. So if the Gator can't work on a forehand, it's just not going to work out for me. So let's see what it does here. Pyro, 2 points and the box, 158 feet right there. See how close we can put it without sailing with this wind. Ooh, okay, it's beatable. I have to actually hit a fairway though. But I shouldn't have that mistake because it should yank it into the fairway, right? Yeah. Oh, it kind of sailed though. Still, it didn't hit a tree. So they're tied up 2-2. This is more interesting than I thought it would be. But I still want to point out that I did kind of call that the Pyro was, if the Pyro hit the tree, the Gator wasn't going to hit the tree because I was going to accidentally grip lock it. And that's what happened. So, good and bad news for the Gator. You know what I realized I don't have at this course? Is a hole like hole 18, and yes, I could get some distance by going to other holes on other courses, but hole 18 was specifically a right to left downhill shot. At least for this slot it was. I could literally just take the Pyro and crush it and let it work all the way down. So I think hole 17 might work. It's 351. It's not as far downhill, but maybe we'll have the distance. And with the tail crosswind today, this might also work. I don't know. Am I gonna have to go inside these trees, or do I need to go outside and swing between the trees? I don't know. I think it's more of a tailwind than a crosswind. So probably a little bit more on the inside and just crush it and see how far we can go. Gator has 2 points. Pyro has 2 points. They're tied up, but Gator has the box. We'll see. We'll see if it can win out here. But I don't know. I just so much confidence with the Pyro. Okay. Now, interesting thing to note. Pyro says 2.5 fade. Gator says 4 fade. I always kind of thought that they said 4 fade because it just didn't have as much glide, but it might actually be that overstability. Oh, I can't believe it worked. I cannot believe that worked. I'm so happy that I made it between there and did not hit a tree. Pyro takes the point on this hole. No questions asked. If you can do trick shots like that with a disc that you're that comfortable with, and I swung wider, I flexed wider, both directions, wider to the right and wider to the left, and it still went further than the Gator, yeah, we're going to keep the Pyro in the bag because the Pyro is amazing. The Pyro is unrivaled and unmatched. There is not another disc on the market that can do what a Pyro can do. So, hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.